Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into TNA Impact from September the 19th, 2024, an okay show for the most part. We are building towards Bound for Glory, which will take place in about 5.5 weeks' time. And we already have our main event figured out, which is really, really good. So this makes perfect sense. We'll talk about it when we get to it. So we kick the show off with Alisha Edwards. So she comes out. She says that she's no longer a tag champion for TNA. She knows that the fans are really upset about it. She says that if it wasn't for Masha, she would still be champion. She says if Masha thought she could embarrass her in front of the world, she has another thing coming. So Masha then comes out. Alisha says that Masha can't do anything to her because she's still under concussion protocol. Alisha says that Masha doesn't understand a word she's saying because she doesn't speak good English. So Masha speaks in Russian very quickly. And then she speaks perfect English, which was great. So Masha Slamovich says that she's sick of hearing Alisha Edwards' voice, and she's sick of her. So then Tasha Steelz attacks Masha from behind. Masha's able to get the upper hand only for a quick second, and then that allows for Alisha Edwards to bring in the kendo stick. I think her name is Kendra, the kendo stick. So she is taken out by both Tasha Steelz and Alisha Edwards, and then Jordynne Grace comes out to make the save. And then the System, they come out, which is Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. And then the Hardys, they come out to make the save. So then Santana comes out, and he says if they want to fight so bad, they're going to get their wish. He books a six-person tag for the main event for tonight. Then Ariana Grace, she comes out, which is awesome. And she says she's going to be booking Jordynne Grace and a mystery partner to take on Wendy Chu and Rosemary next week. So this is cool. Really good stuff. So I'm loving the TNA NXT partnership. This makes perfect sense. This is fine. Masha Slamovich speaking perfect English is great. I kind of figured she had English down pat anyway. She probably moved to America just like Dragunov. Probably at an early age. I'd say between the ages of maybe 4 and maybe 8, something like that. So yeah, so that's great. So really good stuff. I'm hoping that TNA does use Masha. We know that Jordynne Grace is on her way out, so hopefully they can use Masha going forward. But it seems like Jordynne Grace might get dethroned by somebody else. That being Xia Li, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. So this is fine. Moving on. So Josh Alexander, he's backstage, and Eric Young's lame ass comes up into play. So Eric Young says that he's been in the position Josh has been in. Eric Young says it's about respect, and there's a lot of young guys looking at Josh's every move, which is a total lie. Eric Young says Josh is a leader here, and it takes time. And it's time to take it serious, which is total bullshit. Look, Josh Alexander is on his way out, just like how Eric Young should be, just like how Frankie Kazarian should be, and moves Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, Alisha Edwards, Rhino, Matt Cardona. Send all those guys and girls to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, please, so TNA can begin to rebuild itself. My God, I'm so tired of these guys. Damn. Moving on. Jordynne Grace, she's backstage with Masha Slamovich, and she said that she's been holding open challenges for a minute, and she's hoping that Masha would accept it. Maybe they can do it now. Masha says she's got other things to do now. So then Masha knocks on the Hardy's door and shows a picture of her with Matt Hardy and says that young wrestler from Russia, she never thought she'd ever get to team with them. Matt Hardy says that that's the beauty of pro wrestling. Okay. All right. That's fine, I guess. I didn't know that Masha was such a mark for the Hardys, but I am too, but damn. Because Masha's like, what? I want to say in her mid-20s, so between like 25 and maybe 27. Maybe her late 20s, I'm not sure. So, but this is fine, I guess. But again, hopefully Masha is built back up and she might be the one to dethrone Jordynne Grace, maybe. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Moving on, first match of the night. AJ Francis and Casey Navarro, first class, they defeat Sinner and Saint. So they win. So they win via the down payment into a frog splash for the 1, 2, 3. All right, that's fine, I guess. Do I care about this? No, I don't give a damn about it. Moving on. Mike Santana is backstage with a barbed wire bat. He says they don't realize how how comfortable he feels in this world. He's going to baptize JDC in his own blood, and he says they're locked in this world with him. And then he calls JDC a motherfucker, which was excellent. I love that. That was tremendous. I was like, oh shit, I'm down for this. Again, I'm a fan of Mike Santana. He rules. This was great right here. I love this promo. I was like, damn, we need more of this. Moving on. So Gia Miller, she's backstage with Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey says it feels great, and that the X division is the most competitive division in all of wrestling. Gia Miller says that Santino booked him, Leon Slater, and Kushida against Zachary Wentz and ABC. And Mike Bailey says he can't wait for it. Okay, that's fine. Who really cares? Moving on. We see footage of Step Delander and PCO after Victory Road. Step Delander tells PCO that he needs to be patient. Who gives a shit about this? Fuck this. Moving on. Another match I didn't care about. That was Matt Cardona versus Rhino. So Cardona hit Rhino with a steel chair, and Rhino wins via DQ. Who cares? Post-match, the lights go out. PCO comes out. He hits a choke slam on Matt Cardona. And then he goes for a PCO assault, but Matt Cardona moves out the way. And then PCO hits a PCO assault on a steel chair. And he bumps his fist into the chair or whatever. Who cares about this? This is lame as fuck. Fuck this shit. Like, I'm tired of PCO. I'm tired of Matt Cardona. I'm just tired of this nonsense when it comes to TNA. Stop pushing these guys. These guys are not draws. I'm serious. Moving on. So, Spitfire, they're getting ready for their match. They're about to come out. So, Ariana Grace, she comes out for a second time in this show, and she congratulates them and says that she would like for them to defend their titles against some new competitors. And then she introduces Kendall Gray and Carly Bright from NXT. So Spitfire, they defeat Kylie Bright and Kendall Gray. Okay, that's fine. Who cares? Not that it really matters. I mean, they're essentially, I wouldn't say jobbers, but they're essentially just girls on NXT, not really doing much of anything. Like, they have no personality. They kind of look alike. Can't really tell them apart. I don't know. They're just there just to be there, it seems like. Moving on. So, Ash by Elegance, she's in the makeup room with her personal concierge, George Iceman, and she's trying on a cowgirl hat. that is white and black, or black and white. And in comes Heather Reckless. She says that she's been calling Ash and wants to fix her style. So George Iceman says that they're busy and they'll think about it. And then Heather Reckless asks them to watch her match next week and make their decision. And then Ash says they're busy right now, but they'll see what they can do next week. This is fine, I guess. I kind of think what they're going to end up doing is probably have Ash kind of cost Heather Reckless next week. I think she's taking on Xia Brookside, I think. That's what I think Ash by Elegance said. Heather Reckless said in the promo, I think. So that's fine, but we'll have to wait and see. But I do see Ash turning on Heather Reckless, in my opinion. But Heather Reckless, she looks very, very good. She looks very attractive. Moving on. So, the match of the night, Santana defeats JDC in a Texas Death Match. This match was short. This maybe went on for about a good 10 minutes. And they actually worked quite well in this match. It was slow. And the crowd was really into it. And Mike Santana got the win via a frog splash. And JDC could not make it to the count of 10. But the match was solid, in my opinion. It was really good stuff. Both guys were bruised and bloodied and battered, which was really good. And like I said, it only went about 10 minutes, but it was still good. Like, it wasn't like an AEW where they're going like 20, 25 minutes and stuff, and they're just doing a bunch of crazy spots. Nah, this was a really good television Texas Death Match. This is really, really good. And they played it safe, too. Like, there was blood and stuff, but the match was good nonetheless. Post-match, Moose comes out and he attacks Santana with a steel chair, and they're going to continue their feud, which I assume is going to be taking place at Bound for Glory. Maybe they'll do like a steel cage between the two of them, or balls counting anywhere, or something like that. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't care about Moose. Moose sucks, like he does. He's an also-ran. He really is. He sucks beyond belief. Moving on. So Sinner and Saint, they're backstage. Josh Alexander walks up to them, and he says that they have a lot of potential. He says that if they need any help or advice, they can reach out to him. Who cares? We all know that Josh is just joking around. He's going to probably take them out probably next week sometime. Do I care? No, I don't. Moving on, we get a vignette for Xia Li. She's now going to be known as Li Ying Li. Nice. She says that she'll be reborn as a stronger self that'll never be extinguished. And then she's going to debut next week. So this is great. I'm loving this. This is excellent. I like this. Finally. I'm glad that Xia Li is in TNA. Hopefully they have signed her to a 3-year deal. I don't see her going to AEW. I just don't. She doesn't need to go there. And I think that TNA can begin to start building up their Knockouts division. Hopefully they can bring in Mandy Rose or Lacey Evans come Bound for Glory, because they do need some fresh talent. And with Jordan Grace basically leaving early next year, they have to start rebuilding that Knockouts division. And this is a good start. So we'll have to wait and see how things will turn out. But this is great. Moving on. So Joe Hendry, he comes out. He says that Victor Road was special. He said that this year's been a roller coaster for him. He said that he made a statement at Victory Road when he beat Josh Alexander. He says that he makes himself pretty important in TNA wrestling. He says that when he came to TNA, his goal was to win the World Heavyweight Champion. The TNA World Heavyweight Championship. He says a lot of people there in the back don't want him to be successful. He says that he doesn't. That doesn't matter because the audience lifted him up, and he has a feeling that they'll lift him up to the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So Frankie Kazarian's lame ass comes out. He says that the only reason that Hendry beat Josh Alexander was because he had a loaded weapon in his crotch. Frankie Kazarian says that people become sick on one-hit quitters, and he's sick of Joe Hendry. He says that Joe sounds like a cross between Shrek and groundskeeper Willie. Frankie Kazarian says that if anyone deserves a shot at the TNA title, it's him. He says if Nic Nemeth is any kind of champion, he would come out and grant Kazarian his title shot. So Nic Nemeth comes out. He tells Kazarian to shut up. He tells Joe that he expects big things from Joe Hendry in the future. He says he calls Frankie Kazarian himself the king of TNA, but there's only one crown that matters here, and that's the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And this is the closest Frankie's going to get to it. So Santana comes out, and he books Frankie Kazarian versus Joe Hendry for next week, and the winner will face Nic Nemeth at Bound for Glory. So what I think is going to happen, I feel that this is probably going to lead to a triple threat. Because, not Josh, my bad. Nic Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian, that seems more of like a match that you would give away on television. It does not seem like it's pay-per-view worthy because it's not, because Frankie Kazarian sucks. But I think they're probably going to end up going the triple threat route. And because if Joe Hendry wins, it'll be babyface versus babyface. And I don't think that TNA would be that dumb to turn Nic Nemeth heel. Nic Nemeth's actually one of the most over babyfaces next to Joe Hendry. They're kind of neck and neck. I would say that Joe Hendry is the hottest babyface in TNA, and Nic Nemeth, he's the face of TNA. So yeah, but I think that's what they're going to end up doing, is booking a triple threat match. Maybe we get like a time limit trial next week or something like that. Maybe we do a double count out finish or a double DQ finish or something like that. I don't know. But I do not expect for Frankie Kazarian or Joe Hendry to win next week. I expect for it to be a triple threat match at Bound for Glory. And I'm not fond of triple threat matches, but this one right here kind of calls for it. Because you don't want to turn a Nic Nemeth heel for a while, and you definitely can't turn Joe Hendry heel. So we'll see how things play out. Main event of the evening, the Hardyz and Masha Slamovich. They defeat the System, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Tasha Steelz. And that was the show. Who cares? So this was a fine episode of TNA. It was okay. TNA seems to be improving. The production value on this show was really good. Texas has been great for TNA right now. And they were really into everything on the show, basically. So there's that. I do hope for Bound for Glory that we get some more surprises from TNA, since we didn't get any at Slammiversary this year. I'm hoping that we can get some surprises, because TNA definitely needs some new talent going into 2025. But I am excited for Bound for Glory, and hopefully we get a mini NXT versus TNA crossover. Hopefully we get something from those two promotions. We should have at least a small Worlds Collide type of event from both parties, and I think that'll happen too. I would at least do 3 or 4 matches, or you have NXT talent, and then the rest should just be TNA guys. That's what TNA guys and girls. That's what I would do. But hopefully they end up booking and giving us a strong Bound for Glory this year, and it seems like that's what they're going to do. But what did you guys think of TNA? I thought it was okay, but what did y'all think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.